Welcome all. Today we will discuss conformation of substituted cyclohexane. We know that the most preferred conformation of a cyclohexane molecule is chair conformation. We know that this chair conformation is having least energy due to least torsional strain, steric strain and angle strain. Okay, so what happens when a substitution takes place? Let us take a mono-substituted cyclohexane. Let it be methyl cyclohexane. Methyl cyclohexane. In this case, two possibilities are there. We know that there is an axial and equatorial hydrogen. So, the methyl group can be placed on the axial position or either on the equatorial position. So, which will be most stable, either axial or equatorial? So, when we take the molecule that is methyl cyclohexane, we can see that in this case, the methyl group is on the axial position. When we take the other axial hydrogens, that is 1, 2, 3, the third hydrogen is here, it is in close vicinity. That means the crowding is there in between the axial and this axial CH3 group, axial hydrogen and the axial CH3 group. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, this axial hydrogen and this CH3 group are crowded in between. And this crowding will result in steric repulsion. And this steric repulsion is termed as 1,3 diaxial interaction. And this 1,3 diaxial interaction induces a strain in the molecule, that is the strain in an axial methyl cyclohexane. Okay, so due to crowding between the methyl and the hydrogen, a steric repulsion is experienced, and that steric repulsion between the substituents on the first and the third carbon is known as 1,3 diaxial interaction. And that diaxial interaction destabilizes the axial methyl cyclohexane. When we come to the equatorial methyl cyclohexane, that is when flipping takes place, it is equatorial. In this case, it is clear that the CH3 group is away from the ring. That means there is no such steric repulsion. And all the axial positions are occupied by small hydrogen atoms. So, the steric strain will be minimum in the case of equatorial. So, in the case of methyl cyclohexane molecule, it is clear that which will be most stable at equilibrium. Equatorial methyl cyclohexane will be more stable than the axial. And the energy difference between this axial and equatorial is 7.5 kilojoules per mole. 7.5 kilojoules per mole. So, when we come to the conformation of methyl cyclohexane, equatorial is possible, axial is possible. Which will be most stable? The equatorial will be most stable. Why it is most stable? There is no such 1,3 diaxial interaction in the equatorial form. Whereas in the axial form, we know that the CH3 group will be crowded with the axial hydrogen atom in the third position. So, there will be 1,3 diaxial interaction, steric repulsion will be experienced. So, normally 95% of equatorial methyl cyclohexane will be predominating in the case of methyl cyclohexane. So, and the energy difference I have already discussed, that is 7.5 kilojoules per mole. When we are coming to phenyl cyclohexane, if it is substituted by phenyl group, which will be predominating? Of course, it will be equatorial, because when it is in the axial position, it will be experiencing 1,3 diaxial interaction, that is a steric repulsion will be induced in the ring. So in the case of phenyl also, which will be more stable, the equatorial will be phenyl, equatorial phenyl cyclohexane will be more stable. And the energy difference between these two is approximately 11 kilojoules per mole. 11 kilojoules per mole. And as the bulkiness of the group increases, the stability of equatorial will be more. When we take tertiary butyl cyclohexane. So in tertiary, if tertiary is on the axial position, we can see that what happens, the axial position is crowded with the tertiary butyl group. So the steric repulsion will be more. So the energy difference will be also more. In the equatorial case, the steric repulsion is minimum. So what will be the energy difference? The energy difference between the axial and equatorial tertiary butyl cyclohexane is 24 kilojoules per mole. So these are in the case of mono-substituted cyclohexane molecule. When the bulkiness of the substituents increases, the energy difference also increases. So in the case of disubstituted cyclohexane molecule, this is 1,1 disubstituted. The two substituents are same. In this case, there is no choice which will be the position of the substituted compound. That is, this is 1,1 dimethyl cyclohexane. It can be either axial or equatorial. If the substituted substituents are different, which will be occupying the axial position and which will be the equatorial position? That is explained by its bulkiness of the group. So when we take, in the case of such compound, that is one of the substituent is the tertiary butyl and another one is methyl group. In this case, we know that the bulkiness is more for tertiary butyl group, and which will be the preferred one? The preferred one will be this which having equatorial position. Of the tertiary butyl group will be occupying the equatorial position will be the preferred conformation. That is, this will be the preferred conformation when compared to the axial tertiary butyl group. And if it is CH3 and OH, if the group is CH3 and OH, which will be bulky one, the CH3 group is the bulky one, and that will be occupying in the equatorial position, and the OH will be occupying on the axial position. So, which will be occupying the equatorial and axial depends upon the bulkiness of the substituent. In the case of one disubstituted cyclohexane. In the case of 1,2 disubstituted cyclohexane molecule, here we can see that what is the peculiarity? The two CH3 group are on the same side. If it is on the same side, we call it as a cis form. So this is the cis form of 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. And in this case, we can see that how will you convert the classical formula into chair conformation? The CH3 group is pointing upwards. That is towards the viewer. That is, it should point upwards. So CH3 will be occupying here in the first position. The second one also, that is this CH3 is coming towards the viewer. That is, it will be pointing upward. In this second position, the down position is axial. The upper position is equatorial. So, in the case of cis conformation, either axial equatorial or equatorial axial is possible. And these two have same possibility. But when we come to trans, what will be the trans conformation? The CH3 will be up and the other CH3 will be down. This will be the trans position. So, in the case of trans 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane molecule, either the two methyl group can occupy axial position or the two can be occupy equatorial position. We know that in this case, the steric strain will be maximum due to 1,3-diaxial interaction. And it will be least for equatorial. When the methyl group is on the equatorial position, the steric strain will be minimum. And altogether, when we take 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, which will be the more stable one, the trans form where equatorial methyl is present is the most stable conformation. Okay. In the case of 1,3-disubstituted cyclohexane, we can take the methyl group itself, 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane molecule. This is the cis conformation. That is cis-dimethyl 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane molecule. Here also it is we can see that two possibilities are there for the cis. If it is cis, that is, this is axial, this is equatorial, this is trans to each other. That is 1, 2. The next one is, these two are on the same side. So this will be the cis conformation. So we can write CH3, CH3. So this is the cis 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. This can exist in the equatorial position also. We can see that in this CH3 in the equatorial position and this is in the equatorial position. Among this, which will be most stable, those in the equatorial position will be most stable. That means cis at equatorial will be most stable. When we take trans, what will be the conformation? Here, this is above the plane and the next one is below the plane. So, either axial equatorial or equatorial axial. These two have normally equal probability of existence. So, among the cis and the trans form of 1,3-disubstituted cyclohexane, cis at equatorial will be most stable when compared to all this possible conformation. So, when we come to 1,4-disubstituted, 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane, what will be the possibility? So, what is this? This is the cis form. How will you draw the cis form? That is, both are on the same side. This is the first position. This is the fourth position. 1, 2, 3, 4. And fourth position, the axial will be like this. So, if it is a cis, if CH3 is on the axial position, the CH3 should be on the same side. So, this will be the cis conformation, axial equatorial or equatorial axial. Here, the both form will be having equal probability of existence. Either it can be axial or equatorial. When we come to trans, it will be on the opposite side. That is, if CH3, the first CH3 is on the axial upward, the second CH3, the fourth position will be axial downwards. So, there is two possibilities, that is 1,4-diaxial, that is 1,4-axial and 1,4-equatorial. Among this, we know that in the case of 1,4-axial, there is 1,3-diaxial interaction, that is steric repulsion is there. Whereas in the case of 1,4-equatorial, it is most stable because there is no such steric repulsion experience due to axial 1,3-diaxial interaction. Okay, so to summarize, the more preferred conformation for substituted cyclohexane is equatorial substituted cyclohexane. If there is two different substituents, the bulkier group will be occupying the equatorial and the smaller one will be occupying the axial position. So that determines the stable conformation of substituted cyclohexane. Thank you.